Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Welcome to the week 11 5 under 5 video where we try to highlight some NFL DFS tournament values that you could play this weekend that are projecting at under 5% played. It's a ridiculous number. There's 11 games on this slate. This is a star-studded 5 under 5 this week. There's plenty of value out there, and you can basically go whatever route that you want. In tournaments, there's more value this week seemingly than a lot of other places, which is kind of consolidating the percentage owned around specific players that are popping on projections. Since we're such a projection-based game and industry at this point, there's always going to be players that don't have a great point per dollar on median projection sort of outlook, and they just fall to the wayside. So I came up with 5 guys that I think have a tremendous ceiling this week for one reason or another that could give you a leg up on the competition. So if you wanted to get access to the cheat sheet, it is posted in our Discord. Go to smizzle.tv/Discord. There is a subscribe button in there if that's what you choose. You could also get access to the cheat sheet by becoming a channel member here on YouTube. Go to smizzle.tv/join. When you get to Discord, you got to link your 2 accounts. It will verify that you're a paying sub here. It's $5 a month. You get access to all the VIP channels and the cheat sheet every single week for NFL. So I appreciate you guys being here. Drop a like on the video. I cannot tell you how much it helps. The likes, the subscriptions, notifications bell, leaving comments on video, all of that helps, and it costs absolutely no money. So thank you. Click the things. And let's go.
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League is posted for week 11. It is $10 to enter. It is 3 max. It has no rake, and it does not show up in the DraftKings lobby. You'll never find it there. You got to go to the Smiz Gang link tree. Go to smizzle.tv/links. It will take you there. You can find the fantasy football channel there where I shout out the top 10 finishers every single Monday on the recap video, but lock up your seats in the Listener League today. Great tournament, fantastic payouts. 10% of the prize pool goes to first place. 10% of first place goes to 10th place. Very flat payout. And as I said, we'll shout out all the winners every single Monday. So make sure that you fill this so they don't make it smaller. Our first player on the list is going to be De'Von Achane. Right now, currently at 6,600 in a game that they are home and favored. He's not a 5-box running back because I don't expect 20 opportunities from him. He's probably going to rest between 10 and 15, but 3% right now. Now look, before y'all race to the replies, because I know some of y'all are just cracking your knuckles and waiting on the type, he's not going to be under 5% this weekend. The way that we do this is I aggregate the percentage owned on 5 different projection sites. And when I record this video on Friday morning at about 10:45 in the morning on the West Coast, the best coast, that's how we determine which guys are going to be the 5 under 5 for the week. So if he ends up at like 7%, don't freaking at me. You know what he can do? The champion of long distance touchdowns. 203 yards against Denver. I'm not expecting 22 opportunities like he got in that game. That was an abomination. That was a complete outlier of a game, 70-20. He's probably going to reside more in this 10 to 15 opportunity range. And he relies on long touchdowns. Now, people are going to shy away. The fantasy players, specifically daily fantasy players, like to wait on, I need to wait and see. I don't know if I can trust that De'Von Achane is going to be used the same way. I need to wait and see if he's still got the same burst that he had earlier this season. By the time you've waited and seen, the opportunity has up and left. So if you want to get on the De'Von Achane train this week, you have to do it this week, because if he does break a 50-yard touchdown against the Las Vegas Raiders defense that has been wholly inefficient at stopping everything this year, and Miami doing a great job at getting their playmakers the ball in space and giving them opportunities, if he breaks a long touchdown at 6,600, you have a massive opportunity for him to have that big game. But do not bank on a 20-plus opportunity game from Achane. David Montgomery, I'm also not banking on a 20 opportunity game from David Montgomery, but he's less than 1% right now on projection, and it's probably based on 2 things. One, I believe that the industry is starting to feel the same way that I am about what the split is going to be between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, where Gibbs is probably going to be the 60% guy, and Montgomery's not going to get 100% of the inside the 5 snaps for the rest of the season like he was early in the season when he was getting the 60 to 70% of the snaps and touches at running back and 100% of the goal-to-go carries and touches. But home, favored by a lot over the Bears, his former team, and if there's a coach who probably would try to stick it to your former team and let you score 2 or 3 touchdowns if they get into spots like that, I could see a 1-week situation where the team with the second highest team total on the slate gets multiple goal to go inside the 5 opportunities, and they force feed David Montgomery touches in those situations to get him 1, 2, or maybe 3 touchdowns against this Chicago Bears team. I think the probability that Dan Campbell goes after the narrative instead of just, we're going to play our guys and do things our way, I think it's going to be like, well, look, we got a 1st and goal on the 1 because of a pass interference, or 1st and goal on the 3 because somebody got tackled. Get Monty in there. Go take it in. Spike it on him. Do the thing. Now do it again the next time. So in that particular case of him having a multiple touchdown game at 6,500, I can see him massively outperforming, and at sub 1% right now, he may end up at 2 or 3 by the time the weekend's over, getting you that sort of an opportunity. And it's not like he wasn't utilized last week. He still got 12 opportunities, breaking off that 75-yard run against the Chargers. Let's head over to Underdog Fantasy, and if you do not have an account over at Underdog Fantasy, they have these great pick'em cards that are really fun to fill out, and we like to enjoy ourselves. They've added these spicy ones as well. You can get up to a $500 first-time deposit bonus on your first deposit to the site when you use promo code ALSMIZZLE, ALSMIZZLE, all one word. Might as well take advantage of the free money that they're giving you to go play around with these, and you can multiply them. You can do whatever you want. Let's use the 2 guys that we've talked about so far. Devon Achane, let's have him score a touchdown for all the 1.25 multiplier spiciness. And David Montgomery over 49.5 rushing yards against his former team for $100 to win $375. We'll click submit. We'll hit that. We'll get on with the rest of the video. Brandon Aiyuk going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, typically we like to play Brandon Aiyuk when the opposing team plays man-to-man because he thrives against man-to-man defense, much higher yards per route run against man than he is against zone, and Deebo Samuel, much higher yards per route run against zone than he gets against man. So it's sometimes can be as simple as, who is San Francisco playing? Do they play man or zone? Play the corresponding wide receiver. Well, they have a matchup this week against Tampa Bay, who plays league average man and zone, and pretty much they're just right down the middle with it. Luckily, though, they're equally inefficient against both. They just kind of suck when they play man, and they suck when they play zone against the pass. So both are in play. And we know that the chemistry is there between him and Purdy. Purdy anticipates very well where Aiyuk is going to run. Aiyuk runs exactly where Purdy is going to anticipate that he runs, and they have this connection where they can get after this Buccaneers team, who is clearly a pass funnel. You can't really run the football against them. San Francisco will certainly try, and they do a good job of scheming that. But one of the higher team totals on the week, Aiyuk is more expensive than Deebo Samuel by like 600 or 700. I forget exactly. I think Deebo's 600 if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly, but he's more expensive, and that's holding his percentage down at just under 4%, like 3.8% on aggregate. So we're looking at a spot with a player that we know has a viable ceiling, 35 points in week 1 against Pittsburgh, 24 against Arizona. He would need to get us over 25 points. The probability of that is higher than 3% in my personal opinion, so I think that he is a good 5 under 5 play. Jaylen Waddle, same thing. We're relying on long touchdowns, but Las Vegas has acquiesced and allowed those, and we're starting to see a return to form for Jaylen Waddle. I'm hoping that his injury is fine. He was a full participant on Wednesday. Assuming that his injury is non-existent this week, they have some fantastic drugs at the NFL to not allow him to feel pain for the 4 hours that they're going to be out there on the field. And if he can find his way behind this Las Vegas defense just one time, we have massive upside in this spot. So 2 Dolphins I love to attack with players on teams that have the highest team total on the slate, and they have the highest team total by 2, and 2 players that are sub 5%. It just doesn't feel like it should be that way, right? If they have the highest team total, it's not all about median and mean projections. Everybody wants the guys who the projection model says has the most points per dollar, but that's based on the median projection. We're not playing for the 50 percentile. We're not playing for the 40th to 60th percentile outcomes. When you're playing in a tournament, you want to get lineups that are in the top 5 and 1%. And the way to do that is to find these big play players that other players aren't going to play. And if there is a big play player out there, Jaylen Waddle is one of them. Massive downfield looks that we get from him in this particular offense. We know that this defense is inefficient at stopping people, and that $7,600 price tag is going to preclude players from wanting to click his name. Our last player is a mystery because I didn't click him, but it's Stefon Diggs. Steph Diggs, the squeakiest wheel possible right now, who said, I can't speak to what my brother tweeted out earlier this week. You're literally the only guy who could speak to what happened with that. You can just say, there's no problems here. He's just doing what he does. But whatever. This is a team in the Buffalo Bills that fired their OC that is struggling on offense. You could say they're more struggling on offense the last few weeks versus they had this ridiculous run earlier in the year where they put up 38, 37, 48 real life points. They're like 8th in the league in scoring, guys. But Josh Allen's turning the ball over a lot. Josh Allen always turns the ball over a lot. It's what he does. It's part of the package. They're a better team with Josh Allen. They're a better team with Steph Diggs than they are without them. They have to outscore people because their defense is nowhere near as good as it used to be. And now they're playing a team that is somewhat hobbled offensively, or let's say, I don't know, just held back offensively by the quarterback play that they have. And Narrative Street is squarely on the side of this Buffalo Bills team. Fired their OC. They have to make a statement. But Al, aren't you worried about Sauce Gardner? I'm worried about Sauce Gardner in week 11 about as much as I was worried about him in week 1 when Steph Diggs posted 10 catches on 13 opportunities for 102 yards and a touchdown, scoring 29.2 DraftKings points. Tyreek Hill is going to be extremely popular. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be extremely popular. I think that Steph Diggs is going to come in well behind Austin Eckler and well behind Keenan Allen as well. He is sub 1% right now on projections. So if you're a fan of Narrative Street, and there's more than enough value for you to go get guys like this, if you want to play him as a one-off, if you wanted to build Josh Allen stacks, we have the meme on this channel about 150 Josh Allen stacks. You'll win 6 Millionaire Makers over the course of the year. Just punt off the other 12 weeks and win 6 Millionaire Makers. Not saying this is the week to win one of those 6, but we know that if somebody's matchup proof, it's Steph Diggs, and we know that this team needs to script themselves into a situation where that offense looks good. Let's head over to Fantasy Labs. Here's what I start with all of my rules every single week. If you wanted to build in the 5 under 5 into that, you can use at least one of Achane, Montgomery, Aiyuk, Waddle, Diggs. Let's apply those settings. Let's build 150 lineups with this. You can go to get a discounted membership over at Fantasy Labs if you don't already have one. The all sports package is the 6-month, including NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, and when MLB gets here, that golf as well. Great projections and a lineup builder. Just realize you're not going to be able to click generate and win immediately, but go to smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L. It takes time to massage all of these allocations and combinations and correlation that you want to get the things that you want out of it, but it is a great time saver and can help you in multiple sports. So thank you for being here. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.